Hey, it's Korinn, 365 Days of Open Heart Living. Today is day number 73, Hearing the Language of Spirit. I have had a lot of developments happening in my life, and I felt like I wanted to record today's meditation here at my husband R cemetery stone where my husband is buried. This is the back side of his stone. The lyric, "May the wind take your troubles away," is a song that was meaningful for us, between us. Sunvolt is the band, the name is Windfall, and after he died, it just felt right to have that lyric joining us together and our cemetery stone. Um, his name's on one side, mine is on the other. But the reason that I really wanted to come here to record today's meditation is because I'm talking about hearing the language of spirit. So not only are we as human beings able to hear our loved ones speaking to us, we are able to hear our angels, spirit guides speaking to us. We're able to hear God speaking to us, but we are also able to hear our life speaking to us. And that is a spiritual stream that comes through just in our existence. The way that you can hear your life speaking to you is through your spirit senses, your spiritual senses, which are layered in with your ability to hear, to see, to feel, and to know. And my life has been speaking very loudly to me over the last week in beautiful ways. Spirit has been speaking to me very loudly, and so has my husband. So I'm I want this to be for you, and I hope that it is. I'm just feeling like sharing my story and expressing, and that I hope there's something in it for you today in listening. So I met another gentleman, and I started talking with him. I was not thinking I was going to get back online, but in a weak moment of watching some Netflix love shows and knowing that I had just a couple more weeks left on my Bumble subscription, I caved and was like, oh, I'm just going to get back on and see, what might be out there for me, who might be out there for me to connect with. So I did, and I connected with a gentleman, and we were going to meet last weekend, and then abruptly we had to cancel, and he had to go out of town for his job. So last Friday, I was listening to music as I was doing my last practice run for the 5K that was Saturday morning for my husband. So my daughter and I, Marin, we always do a 5K memorial run for Corey. We pick a different one each year. We've done it for the last 4 years. So we had one picked. It was Saturday morning. Well, Friday, I was listening to my playlist and running around my yard. And when I got done with the playlist and I started to walk when I got done with my practice 5K and I started to walk, I started to think about this gentleman and Corey and just where I was in life. And the words spontaneously came into my mind, changing of the guard. So I took notice of that. It kind of struck me as interesting. And then the song Dreamcatcher came on by Lainey Wilson. And that is a song that speaks volumes to me I hear Corey when I hear that song, and it moves me every time I hear it. So I kind of paused in our yard and was just thinking about Corey, and a butterfly came up and landed right here on my heart center. And it stayed there. And I felt like that was him. And the words, "the changing of the guard," hung with me. And then the butterfly took off and it flew away. And then it came back around and it landed on my shoulder. And then it flew off again. And I wondered to myself, what the changing of the guard and Corey being present, what might be coming my way? What in my life was this speaking to me? This little thing that happened, the things that were lining up and giving meaning to something that was being pre-felt into, I'll say. And I'll back up a little bit. So in my playlist, like I'll say 3 weeks ago, I came upon a song that I'd never heard before by Spoon. It's called Inside Out. Let's talk about music today, apparently. And when I heard the song, I could see myself in it. And I could see I was moving forward, looking, seeking for that person out in front of me. And when the song said Inside Out, I flipped. And then I was moving backwards and I couldn't see where I was going. But it was almost like, and the song talks about a gravity. There's an intense gravity. And in the song and listening to it and seeing this vision of myself, I could see that I was no longer looking to where I was going, but I was being pulled, unable to see where it was I was going, being pulled gravitationally towards something. And then I just had a sense that I would bump into somebody, and then that would be where I was meant to be going all along. So that song was in my playlist when I was running, and every time I hear it, I have this vision that just comes to me and does this flip, and then I just, also kind of laying some mental awareness of some groundwork of what potentially might be coming my way, what life is speaking to me, saying to pay attention. So the next morning, Saturday morning, had the 5K. Me and my daughter were running. One of the last stretches of our run, there was a building and it said River Valley Athletic Center. River Valley is one of the, my husband had had ownership in 3 businesses in his life, and River Valley was the name of one of his businesses. So when I saw that, I smiled to myself, and I knew, that the synchronicity of it, that being there, was his energy coming through, letting us know that he was with us, that he saw us, that we were connecting with him in a spiritual way and doing this 5K in honor and memory of him. And somehow, spontaneously, we picked the one this year that would be running right by the River Valley building. It was beautiful. I felt it. My daughter felt it when I caught up to her, because she was way ahead of me. When I caught up to her and we were done with the race, I asked her, "Did you see the River Valley building?" She's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "What did you think?" She's like, "Dad." I'm like, "Yes, I totally agree." So then I was supposed to meet the gentleman between the race and Country Fest, and that didn't happen. But at Country Fest, there was a moment where an artist was on stage and I was sitting in the crowd, and there's the stage and there's a building and there's a little space in between that you could see the blue sky. And in like probably less than a minute, there wasn't any rain. The sun was out. It was a little cloudy, but there was no rain. But for a moment, an arc of a rainbow showed up right in that little space that was in my direct sight. And I knew that was Corey too. There were a couple women that I was sitting next to, talking to, and it was brought up. They asked, like, "Are you here alone?" I was like, "Yes, I am." I, my late husband, his favorite artist was Eric Church, and so I had to come see Eric Church tonight. And that it was 26 years anniversary this summer of Corey and I meeting on this very festival grounds. And so later in the night, right before Eric Church started, one of the women was like, "You got to get up here right by the fence. Like, you need a good spot. Like, move on up here. We'll scoot back. You get in." And she's like, "This is a special night for you." And then she looked at me in my eyes and she's like, "Do you believe in signs?" And I was like, "Yes, yes, I do." And she's like, "That rainbow earlier, that was for you. That was your husband." And I got chills when she said that. I already knew all of that, but it was confirming to have somebody else speak it to me. And then that night, watching Eric Church, it was like Corey was with me. I could feel him. I could feel him so much. I can feel him so much here right now. The same energy, like he's wrapping himself around me. It was beautiful. I could feel him standing to my left, wrapping himself around me. And there were definitely songs that brought tears and made me smile. And I really just felt like that night was for him and I to be together. And one of the songs that Eric Church sang, he said that it was a song he hadn't sang on tour since his last tour, but they decided to bring it out tonight. And it's called The Knives. Sorry, there are mosquitoes out. The Knives of New Orleans. And as he sang it, I've heard the song so many times, but as he sang it, there was one part that the words just spoke to me. They just lit up. This is the language of spirit too. Sometimes people say things to you that it just like your awareness just like dials in, and you're like, yes, I hear you. I hear this. This is for me. This is a message for me about my life, from a loved one, from God. The being able to hear the language of spirit, it gives us a deeper meaning, and it helps us to feel connected. And the words of the song were, "What I wouldn't do for just one more kiss. I'm all out of time, honey. It's come down to this." And that was our moment. That was the place that we began. And the song Springsteen by Eric Church, that we always felt like told our story. Meeting at a concert and just, yeah, we were young. We were so young and just getting started. And then having this night, a special night with him, with little things, spiritual messages sprinkled in over the couple of days, it meant so very much. And then fast forward to this weekend, and this man that I have met, it feels right. It feels like the timing is right. And I do need to say, go back and listen to day 72, because I kid you not, as soon as I started getting diligent about asking my angels, my relationship angels, to help me, that's when things really clicked into place. And this man showed up in my life. So we do need to listen. We do need to still ourselves and open our hearts so we have the ears, the eyes, the heart, the awareness, the feeling sense, and the knowingness to know when life is being spiritually spoken to us, when connection is being spiritually spoken to us. because it really can make all the difference in the world from continuing to spin and spiral and feel like we don't know where we're going or what to grab onto, and coming into this space in the tornado of life sometimes that just feels like it's okay. There is a spiritual timing. There is spiritual support. There are spiritual messages that we can tune into that give us stability. We give ourselves stability in tuning into our own spirit and the language that moves through our life, communicating to our spiritual essence, instilling us so that it's a little bit easier to endure, maybe a little bit quicker with spiritual help, and definitely a little bit brighter with our own spiritual light being stoked. And with that, I want you to close your eyes and feel your breath. Feeling your breath stills your energy, stills your spirit, and allows your attention to be drawn inside of yourself. So just feel your breath as it moves in and out through your nose, slowing you down and bringing you to a calm space within yourself where you are naturally more receptive to being in tune with the spiritual language that is being spoken to you in your life. You are developing your spiritual sense to hear, see, feel, and know just by engaging in the ability to feel your breath and be still. Because in the stillness, your awareness opens to a different layer that is right there to be perceived. And to listen into. Breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out, and just feel. Breathe in, breathe out. Feeling yourself in open awareness. Your breath as your anchor, guiding you inside of being aware of your own spirit sense, your own spirit light, and spirit breath. And now placing your attention in your heart center, Allow your attention to be in your heart, and in placing that open awareness in your heart, the heart naturally opens and expands out around you. The field of your heart is expansive, and when you feel in your heart center, you allow yourself to also feel the expansiveness. And in feeling that, you can feel out around yourself in the space that is beyond your physical body, that is also your heart energy field. Feel your heart. Feel its expansiveness. Feel your open energy field all around you. And sit here in open awareness. This open-heartedness is also a space that enables you to grow your ability to hear the language of spirit, stillness and openness. You are paying attention in your receptiveness now. And I want you to ask openly and be receptive to the answer that comes to you right now. Ask yourself, what is my life speaking to me? And let the energy of the language of spirit spoken to your open heart be felt in this moment as it fills you in with hope and light and goodness to come. You are more in tune with life when you have an ability to use your spirit senses. And these two foundational practices of stilling yourself with the inner breath and opening your heart with the inner smile are ways that you can grow your capability to tune in. And breathe your breath and feel your open-heartedness. And when you're ready, open your eyes. Your life is no different from mine. We are both human and we are both spirit, cut from the same cloth, designed in the same way, given the same spiritual gifts to tap into. The way that I have shared how I have been getting nudges, getting messages, having little breadcrumbs dropped into my awareness to pay attention to be open to not shut down to what life is bringing me, but to open up and to be courageous and not resist meeting somebody and opening myself up, because that is what is felt like is needed right now. It's the changing of the guard for me. And so too, when you have shifts happening in your life, it is going to serve you to be in tune with those messages, the guidance, the awareness in yourself, how you are shifting and growing and opening up, so that you are also right in time with life opening up and bringing to you what you desire in your heart. So keep living your heart. I know for you, there is beauty just up around the corner. And keep asking those angels for their intercession, because I'm kind of in awe with how fast things happened. But I also feel like it was time spiritually. This is my time. Perhaps spiritually, you're right on time too. I know spiritually, you are right on time. And that could be the timing of a day, the timing of a month, the timing of a year, the things that are unfolding slowly as you move forward to what your heart truly desires for yourself, the work you invest in inside of yourself in between the now and the what is to come. That can be the building block to also get you to where you are going. And between the now and the then, remember to breathe and feel your heart in openness, and may the wind take your troubles away. Okay, for real now. Go love your heart. One more afterthought. When you can hear the language of spirit, you can move on inspiration, because you are moving in spirit. You are inspired in your spirit to move. You are in sync with that which is gravitationally pulling you forward, that is already yours. And that is an amazing feeling that you deserve to have. Okay, just one more last thought to share. So I also was getting the spiritual message this weekend. 3 times I saw sets of fawns. 1 was triplet set and 2 times were twin sets. And 3 times I saw this over the weekend that I just met this dude. And so I had to look up what is fawn, the symbolism of fawn. And the symbolism of fawn is the purity of new beginnings and the wonder of life unfolding. And I want to wish that for you as well.